Hello, friends. This is Todd. This is
Logan.
and we're Table Ready Painting,
Yes.
and we're going to be painting a couple miniatures and hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah.
I do have another podcast to do at a little bit later, so we're going to hang out for about an hour and paint and chit chat and talk about 40K things. So if you have anything you want to join in with us, we're just going to talk about what we're painting.
Yeah.
What are you starting with today?
I've got a little bit of a collection here, but I'm thinking I'm probably gonna start off with these Hellblasters.
Hellblasters, and they're going to be Blood Angels as well.
Yes. At least I hope so.
For a second, I thought they were going to be Helldivers, but just falling off the table.
Bruh.
So, I'm actually going to put some paint on my Land Raider Redeemer. My turreted guy decided to jump off the top for some reason, which is weird because I was trying to pull him off earlier and he was stuck, but
You must
now
at
he
least
decided to come off just for the show. So what's going on? You've been painting a little bit earlier today, right?
Yeah, I painted some Tyranids. I mean, I worked a little bit on like glow effects, like on the Trigon and stuff.
Right.
Bit of details there.
Very nice, very nice. Now my gun doesn't want to come out of the front.
Oh no.
Maybe this Land Raider just decided it's going to be argumentative. Well, I can do what I need to do. It really just come out.
What's in there?
Apparently this one was tabbed. Oh. Okay. Anyway.
Oh.
Apparently there was a bar underneath.
Ah. Oh, to prevent it from coming out?
Yeah. Like one of those you have to turn to a certain position. I didn't realize that. I don't think my other one has that. I think it just pops out.
2 Land Raiders?
Yeah, I have a Crusader. Or not a Crusader. A Godhammer. And I have a Redeemer.
Godhammer?
The las cannons and heavy bolters. That one's pretty much painted. This one needs just some extras. I did a lot of the fun stuff on it. Obviously, Dark Angels. I put a Dark Angels. It's actually a combat shield.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They made a good door emblem.
Yeah.
I just shaved the hand off of it. So, yeah, let's see. What do we got here? Out of the colors we brought. Gunmetal. I brought a couple here. Cool. So what, so you got Hellblasters and some Tyranids?
Yeah. I've got a few. I've got like Parasite of Mortrex. I've got a few Hive Guard. I really need to love these guys a little more. Something about them.
They were actually really cool miniatures when we got them. They have
fallen a little disappointing.
They have been paying for their sins of the last editions.
Yeah.
Be a good way to put it, right?
And sadly, the gun that I have, the indirect fire one, is a little disappointing. I mean, at least compared to like the shock cannon, which I recall has some pretty nasty rules.
I mean, the shock cannon is probably the better choice right now, but I think because the way they nerfed indirect fire, they really kind of got it beaten.
Yeah, the whole point of them was, well, the whole point of that gun was indirect fire.
Right. All right, so we're gonna. I forgot to bring my brushes. Just out of reach, out of frame. Good job.
May I borrow this gunmetal?
Absolutely. I just needed a little bit.
Yeah. I need a little bit. I realized I didn't put any metal on these guys when I originally based them.
Ah.
These are some older models that I got that, sorry. I ended up...
I should have picked the opposite seats, huh?
Why? Oh.
I'm left-handed. Logan is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those were the push fit models, right? From the 8th edition box.
Which one? Oh, these.
They're Hellblasters.
Yeah, I think
they?
so.
I believe so.
I have another set of them, but I think they probably came from an 8th edition box.
I think most of your Hellblasters came from 8th edition box sets.
Well, I only have 10. Well, yeah, and the other one came with the endless swarm of the frickin' 8th edition Death Guard box.
Yep.
We have so many of them.
Not a problem.
No, it's not a problem, but we have like at least 3 some close versions. We have a lot of similar models. Like we have 3 Lords of Contagions. Actually, that's kind of mostly the triple guy with like 20 Poxwalkers. Pretty good.
We have more than 20 Poxwalkers.
Okay, we have like 22. I think.
We have like 60 some Poxwalkers.
Oh, Poxwalkers. Sorry, wrong guy. Plague Marines. Plague Marines. We have way too many Plague Marines. There's some that I should build.
But I don't know that you can have too many Plague Marines. Plague Marines are kind of like the staple of the Death Guard army.
I mean, we can have up to 30, I think.
Aren't they?
Oh, no, they're battle line.
Yeah.
So you can have up to 60.
Right. I don't know that you'd ever have 60. But
maybe in a large enough battle, but
we have like close to 30, so let's say that.
Yeah.
Close to 30.
Close. I think we're kind of like, I thought we were kind of like low 20s. I don't know. I'm not a Death Guard player. Neither is he.
Nope. I like my chaos a little more sorcery.
See, well, according to my army themes, I probably like them a lot more murdery.
Right.
If I had any.
So, yeah, if anybody doesn't know, I'm a big Thousand Suns player. That's my chaos army. Always have aspirations of playing Fallen Dark Angels as well, but never really built it. So I do have 2 different versions of Cypher painted and based and ready to play at any given time, but don't even have an army to support them. But that's okay.
I've been considering playing Chaos Space Marine a lot. But that's beyond the point.
And when he says a lot, he means a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He's been thinking about it a lot.
I have been.
So.
At least some form of chaos.
Yeah, he can't quite settle on it. World Leaders, good.
World Leaders.
Chaos Space Marines, good.
See, my
Emperor's
thing,
Children,
they're pretty cool.
I thought you didn't like the Emperor's Children.
I didn't like their like original like box art design, and according to many designs I see, not many people do.
Yeah.
A lot. Well, yeah, because like how Games Workshop does it, I don't personally like.
I can agree with that.
It's kind of weird. I don't like the pink they picked. I don't like the random black like armor pieces. I know it's very chaosy, but it's not my style.
Right. I can agree with that. Emperor's Children's not really my cup of tea, though I do like those flawless blade miniatures. They're pretty cool. And from what I understand, they're pretty tough on the battlefield. So
they have a lot of weird heads. That's a weird part.
Think they're cool.
They're kind of cool, but they're very weird. Like sometimes elongated and I don't know, kind of strange, in my opinion.
That's fair. You're allowed to have an opinion. So what you doing their weapons right now?
Yeah, most little metal bits.
Gotcha. That's what I'm doing too. Just gonna paint this Stormbolter.
So these guys painted all the squad of 10.
That'll be good.
That should be touched up.
I like 10 Hellblasters. 10 Hellblasters are pretty decent.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't used Hellblasters too much.
No.
Especially after getting my Assault Intercessors. But I think it'd be neat to have them.
Yeah,
And
you kind of changed themes a little bit.
yeah, after I got that box, it was a huge shift. Yeah, I mean, not that terribly huge. I went from, hey, let's play a lot of infantry to, hey, let's play a lot of infantry, but melee.
Right. Infantry of the choppy stabby variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always that. And that works well. Still licking your wounds from that combat patrol with Mike. You haven't played another game since then, have you?
No. I wish I could. I haven't gotten around to bothering anyone to play.
Right.
When I've had enough of a free chance.
I thought you would have been all down here doing all kinds of setting up the table, putting miniatures on.
Trust me, if I could, I woulda.
Fair enough.
If I had someone else to bother in certain times, obviously you can play, but I haven't really had that free of a weekend.
Yeah, we've had kind of a strange, busy weeks lately, even though school's ending and everything kind of should be winding down. It really hasn't wound down that much, has it?
Not terribly.
You still got to go back to school tomorrow.
Actually.
Well,
I have to go near the school.
But it's for a school meeting.
Yeah.
So I know we were talking about Crusade. Are you sticking with your Blood Angels, or you want to switch it up?
Well, after quite a heavy swap, really, from your swap, well, from a Chaos Army or Xenos Army to an Imperial Army, I decided it would be kind of weird for Blood Angels to beat up the Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, my Tyranid should get some love, personally. So I was like, okay, I'll just do Tyranids.
Yeah, if you watch the last episode of the podcast, you'll find out that.
Also,
spoiler alert. They got me a Rogel Dorn for Father's Day, so that kind of inspired the
great swap.
The great swap, as Logan calls it. Well, my biggest issue was out of the Thousand Suns miniatures that I have, one thing that I'm lacking is generic characters.
Yeah, you don't have enough.
I don't have.
For those, right?
If I take out the two named characters that I have a Exalted Sorcerer,
and he's just like one. Isn't he just like a kit?
He's a kit bash, yeah. He's a Master of Possession that I kit bashed into a Exalted Sorcerer, and then I added some Tzeentchian touches to him.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll grab.
Yeah, so we've made a little bit of a switch due to the lack of that and getting the Rogel Dorn tank. He switched to playing Imperial Guard.
This is my Exalted Sorcerer. A little bit of a change.
like Zinch and his Thousand Sun, and the Thousand Sons that follow him.
He looks so different than the regular Master of Possession, doesn't he?
Decently.
I like the floating books on his back.
Floating tongue books. Where'd you find those?
Somewhere. Found him in a kit box somewhere and just kit bashed him out.
Okay.
He needs a little highlighting. It's just a little rough around the corners yet. I don't know why. He hasn't aged as well as I hoped he would.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. He's fun. He's a fun little demon monster guy.
So
yeah, so we're swapping out some Thousand Suns for some Astra Militarum because I think that would be fun.
well, we're swapping out effectively everything because I switched to Tyranids and then my brother switched from Death Guard to Tau. So
it's going to be the Astra Militarum defending against all the Xenos in the galaxy. And then the Tyranids and the Tau, too.
Who's the Xenos then? Oh, wait, hold up.
Yep. We'll have to defend against all the Xenos. And then your guys that are attacking, too.
Whoops. I mean, we've a few orcs. By a few. Not that many.
So, and Logan's going away for a little while, and I think we'll probably, when you get back, maybe we'll start that crusade.
Probably.
I think that would be a good time.
Yeah, because then we'll have some. Because then it won't be halted by my trip.
Right. We hate to create some extra enthusiasm over it and then drop it on its head. So, but we're gonna have some fun, I think.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll be putting them up here, at least some of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, probably at least some of them.
Logan says, "No promises. You get what you get, and you don't get upset."
Yeah.
Isn't that what you said?
No,
That's what I heard.
I'm just saying, depending on the situation. I mean, there might be times like me and my brother.
Just play.
Yeah.
That's fine. And certainly when we get to more pivotal ones, I think we'll probably put them on stream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you haven't seen, if you go back a little bit, we did do a three-way fight. Did we record a three-way fight or no? I don't know that we did.
I don't think so.
I know the Combat Patrol one that you guys did was on like Clan Legends, so
Yeah.
it wasn't on my channel.
I think we did the 3,000.
But either way, if it's on there, you can check it out. If it's not, we actually played one of the multiplayer missions from the White Dwarf
books.
And actually, it was a lot of fun. It was very challenging. You kind of had to protect your own objective from your nemesis, as well as trying to steal their objective. Well, actually,
it was kind of like trying.
You had to protect your objective from the person who wanted your objective, while getting the other person's objective.
It was kind of neat.
It was kind of neat. I'm curious how that would work in 4-player. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I think 4-player would be pretty neat. You just need to get one of your fourth players.
I don't know if we can find a 4th player.
Yo.
What?
You know many 4th players. You could probably find a 5th player.
Maybe even an 8th player.
don't know about all that.
Just head up to Green Dice Games and we can start all kinds of games.
Probably.
I never looked. He talked to me about streaming some games from up at the store, but I never looked to see if he actually did. I don't know if he was just playing with the idea. Mike from up there, he contacted me, wow, it was probably almost a month ago, maybe a little bit more. Actually, I know it was more, probably almost 2 months ago, about some of the equipment that I use to get into streaming and podcasting, and I give him a whole bunch of ideas of stuff to get. Now, the nice thing is he's got a huge open space with tons of lighting, so lighting really won't be his problem.
Yeah.
As opposed to us who record in the basement. But
that's beyond the point.
Right. So, but we are doing the best we can with what we got. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And he came very close to watching me play Space Marine tonight, but Logan said no. We're painting.
No. I said I wanted to paint.
That's what I said. You said no, we're painting. That's what I heard.
I don't think I said all that.
That's exactly what I heard. Word for word. What? So, this is a good repast. I had a chance to put some paint on some models, which I haven't really gotten much of a chance to lately. So
that's always a good. That's always good.
I have been working on building my knights, actually my armigers, and I do have to take time. I'm gonna try and take some time this weekend, maybe.
I would like to see those belts
and finish them up, and I want to also find my pieces for Canis Rex. Because if you haven't heard about that, my plan is for my knights is, and again, this goes with if you know, then you know. But I am a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So, and I'm also a member of the Mando Marks Customing Club. So, when I got my first knight, I made a Knight Crusader, and I painted him up like Boba Fett.
Yes.
Obviously, a Warhammer version of Boba Fett, but Boba Fett nonetheless.
Again, it's a giant knight. It's not the actual person.
Right. Because I'm sure they'd be really upset if I stole Tamara Morrison. But, so I painted up. I thought I would only ever kind of have one, so I thought, oh, I could paint it up as Boba Fett. And then I always played with the idea of if I got another one, I would do Jango Fett or maybe Din Djarin or something like that, trying to keep it on theme. Well, we got from the mech shop at Green Dice Games, I actually picked up the Valor Lance Strike Force.
With a lot of my convincing.
With a lot of Logan's convincing. And in that...
But it was like $200. We got it for like... Yeah, we got a deal for like $200.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, that's effectively the price of a knight itself.
Right.
Oh, and especially with the new...
Or buying 2 armor kits and getting a knight for free.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, I've been playing around with what I wanted to do with the knights, as far as when I wanted to paint it, because I didn't expect to have 5 more knights. No, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, effectively, you've got a knight army.
Now I have 2 full-size knights and 4 armigers to play with. But what I plan on doing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, is I'm actually going to theme it up so that I can play my new knight. I'm going to paint it up as Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, if you're not real Star Wars savvy. This guy. And then when in the battle, part of Canis Rex's rules is, or I'm going to do him as Canis Rex, because the weapon that Canis Rex has with that arrowhead shaped
he's got the
rifle.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Rifle. He's got that arrow-shaped rifle. That looks really close to Canis Rex's, so I could just play him as Canis Rex. And the fun thing is, if you kill him, Canis Rex, in the game, Sir Hector pops out, and then, of course, you don't get credit for killing him until you kill Sir Hector. Well, as a cool little surprise, I'm going to do Din Djarin as the knight, and then I will paint Hector in green and brown to make him represent Grogu. And now it's out there for all the internet to steal before I get it painted. And then I'm going to take all the armigers and I'm going to paint them in colors that friends of mine, including myself, for the armigers. And I think that'll be my fun little knight army. And then if I do get a third big knight, I can always make him Django.
Yeah.
Or maybe like Paz Vizsla or Bo-Katan or something like that. And I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'll have some of those. It'll be different colors, but everybody that knows Star Wars would know the theme. I think it's going to be a ton of fun.
I kind of think that's like the neat part about the Knights, though. They don't really need a color scheme, you know?
No, not at all.
They're giant war suits made for the purpose of destruction.
Well, technically,
I know they were like originally mining vehicles or
they're
something.
farm equipment.
Or farm equipment. But now they're big war machines, so
Right.
don't really need a color.
But I mean, generally in the lore, they run as households.
I guess.
Not always, but generally speaking.
If I had Knights, I would probably paint them a whole variety of colors. Just because it could be fun that way.
Yep.
This guy, he's going to be like green. That guy, he's going to be purple. The third guy, he's going to be whatever. Doesn't matter. But like, I kind of like that idea that you could do with the Knights.
Definitely. I'm a big fan of the Knights. Big fan. Big fan. I've had Boba Fett for
a while now.
Years. A lot of years. And I still haven't played him yet.
I mean, he's a lot of points to invest in an army. Though technically you could put him with either of your Imperium armies.
Right. Yeah, because they're just under 500 points, so, or just over in some cases.
Yeah, you don't have
the Crusaders are lower though. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have the big, huge one.
Yeah, I do not.
And you don't have the Questoris, even crazier ones.
No, I do not.
The Horus Heresy ones.
I simply have the a Crusader.
Yeah.
But I did make it so that I magnetize the arms so that I can put either the sword or the fists on that guy, which I think that makes not the errant, because the errant has the thermo.
I don't know.
The melta gun.
I'm gonna tell you.
It's got the other ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know much about knights. I've not played them.
No.
Or I mean, we've had one model until we got that kit of 5.
Right.
If he hasn't played it,
you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, effectively, except for in its storage case.
Let's see. Let's see if I can figure it out here real quick. So the Crusader, the Errant has the thermo and the sword. The Gallant has the sword and the fists. Oh, the Paladin is one of them. That's the sword and the what do they call that thing? The battle cannon.
I don't know.
The rapid fire battle cannon. That's it. So the Preceptor is the same as Canis Rex. The Valiant's a big one. What's the Warden? Nope, the Warden's the other one. So I guess I could only play him as a Paladin or a... They don't really have the option. Or do they have the option? Or do they? What did I say that was? A Paladin. Paladin Wargames options. You can change the Heavy Stubber. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it would be a Paladin because you're going to replace the Chainsword with the Thunderstrike Gauntlet. So, either way. So, I have a Crusader or a Paladin. Okay. Which, did you know?
Yeah.
The Paladins were the original knights.
That's kind of cool.
The knights actually came out in Epic.
Oh.
There was a box set, and I don't remember what it was, but when like an expansion for the original Titanicus box set for the Titanicus game.
Yeah.
And it was just a knight household, and it actually introduced cast knights, which are very, very different from what they are now. Because the cast knights were like Slanesh had their own cast knights. Actually, Slanesh had their own cast knights. Khorne had the Lord of Skulls. Siege, I don't think, had knights, but they had silver towers, which were really cool. They were basically like a floating citadel from D&D.
Yeah.
Floating citadel, but it could create beams in between them that could shield the models behind it. They had a pretty cool rule. I had some of those because I was a Thousand Suns player fanatic even back then. Unfortunately, most of the chaos, what they call those, whatever they were called, the demon engines. Yeah, the demon engines. I should have known that one. That was easy. All the chaos demon engines most of them were Khorne. So like the brass scorpion. I know you've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then, the brass scorpion, and then they had a Tower of Skulls, which was literally like a tank with a big tower on the back of it. And you'll never guess what it looked like.
It have a bunch of skulls.
It looked like a bunch of skulls. And then they had the Cauldron of Blood, which was just a tank it was actually like a big flamethrower tank, but it would spray out blood, burning blood onto people. The 90s were far more horrific than anybody remembers. They had no qualms about doing their cagey stuff. Things are much nicer now. There's a little sarcasm in that, in case you didn't notice. Oops, what do I think I did? So, but yeah, the Chaos Knights were the Knights were actually really cool. They came out, and they were only maybe the size of the Space Marines now.
Oh, because an epic scale.
Yeah, an epic scale.
I was going to say, those are some small knights. Or knight-sized things.
Right. They were cool. They had kind of like an invulnerable shield, but it only faced one direction. So you had to say it at, I think it was at the end of your shooting phase or end of your movement phase. Something like that. And you had to declare what 90-degree position they were going to be in. So if you had the model here, you're like, oh, his shield's going to be forward because I'm facing the enemy. Well, if the enemy came around your side and was actually within your side, then they could shoot without shooting at the shield.
It's kind of neat. Or sounds kind of neat.
Epic games are complicated.
Well, yeah, it sounds like that too.
I should use a bigger brush than that. It's not doing what I need it to do. I always have that habit of going for the small brush and not making a mess of my stuff. And sometimes I go too small.
Yeah. It's especially bad for when you got like a tank or something.
What's up? How's the Hellblasters coming?
Pretty decent. Not exactly how I want, but I know they'll come with a little bit of work.
Well, my rule of thumb is they always look messy before they look good. You never get to the stage where they look good if you don't make them look messy.
That's fair.
So what was the ambition for getting Hellblasters done today?
I could. I mean, nothing much beyond that I had them. They could have gotten painted. So I did.
Nice.
I mean, I haven't really had many Tyranids that need painting. I mean,
that's fair.
I bought some, but really they need basing, which is a whole different task. So, I mean, they'll need some work. A lot of my Space Marines don't really need that much work.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yes, the Space Marines really aren't bad.
No.
I mean,
you got some nice ones.
I could work on like Death Company stuff because I don't have that at a good level, but I mean, really, I just need to do the red X's, which.
Do you have a spot in your army that you want to put Hellblasters? Do you have an army list that you want to work them into?
Not terribly. I just kind of wanted them painted.
That's fair. Just a completionist, right?
Well, and really, so I could have a squad of 10, which If I were to play a 2,000-point game, which I probably should at some point, I could use them as a little bit stronger of a defense.
They do that role pretty well.
Which will allow for a 10-man squad of intercessors to move from objective to objective.
Till they claim them all.
Yeah. Well, probably not, but I'll probably, like, my plan is, they could work at, like, a kind of close defense. The intercessors can just keep rushing until they hit this objective with their lieutenant, go to the next one, and so on.
I've got to say, the intercessors rule right now where they can double fire at anything.
Oh, it is lethal.
That thing is critical. Like, if you're not playing intercessors in your army, you should find room for them.
40 shots. They can take 40 shots for a 10-man.
Yep.
Which will basically obliterate any 10-man Xenos.
Right.
Turn him to a red mist instantaneously.
Yep. And if you stand still, they're heavy, so you get the +1 to hit. If you advance, they still get to shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so flexible right now.
There's pretty much the only thing they can't really do great is close combat. Which, that's why they got assault intercessors.
Yep. Yes, sir.
I mean, I like using them as a 10-man because they just obliterate.
Right.
I mean, I'll put a lieutenant with him. It's a little overkill, but it's very good.
It certainly makes squads disappear.
Oh, yeah. But until I get some Phobos units, yeah, I'm probably just going to shove in all my backline I can.
What kind of Phobos units do you want?
I don't know. I've considered getting some Phobos units. I've considered Reavers, but I hear they're not really that great.
No, Reavers actually got a pretty good bump. Their combat blades are now -1 armor penetration.
Oh, that's...
Instead of just 0.
I mean, I considered the Reavers for 2 reasons. 1, because they kind of look cool. 2, because they're a melee stealth unit, which I could easily use.
Right.
I kind of like their skull masks. I think that's kind of cool.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. And I think they'd fit well into a Blood Angels army.
Yeah.
To be fair, being a Dark Angels player, they're not all that beneficial to me.
Well,
there's a little more color, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've also considered like Inceptors and no, I already have Inceptors, and they're also not Phobos.
No, the Inceptors are flight Gravis Arbor.
They're nearly the opposite.
Right. They are still fast though.
Well, yeah, 12 inches.
And they got double plasma or heavy or bolters.
What'd you make your guys with?
Minor plasmas.
Oh. The new ones you got from Leviathan?
What?
Didn't you get some from Leviathan?
No, there weren't Inceptors in the Leviathan box.
Oh.
There were Stern Guard.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh, I think I'm just thinking about the Inceptor that lived in the Leviathan box.
Oh, yeah.
That you got, and he pretty much lived there for like a long time.
Yeah, went to 3D print some of those smoke bases for the Inceptors, and I printed the one for the suppressors thinking that they were the right ones, and they weren't. So I need to go back and revisit them at some point and print the right ones. but I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know.
That's what the pinkish, purpley flames are. Smoke billow things. I think there's one in there in the Leviathan box.
Probably.
Trying to figure out why the tracks look so dumb. I don't know if I painted them or I didn't paint them. It looks like I painted them.
They look like they need like a wash or something.
Well, the weird thing is it's not the color that I normally paint tracks, so that's why I'm trying to figure out. Unless maybe I sprayed the whole tank green, and then I just brush on primer to change it. Because usually I do tin bits or the brass color.
Yeah.
I do that for the treads themselves, and then when I wash them real hard, like with a real whatever Nolan oil or dark tones or whatever, and then I'll go back and I just highlight just the front edges of the tracks with a real shiny metallic. Make it look like it's worn and
yeah.
So this is not at all anything like what I normally do.
So you gonna do what you normally do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know that I have that color down there unless it's over there though. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit because I think we're only gonna hang out for a few more minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get a little more strong tone because I want to get.
Did a couple little details. I'm happy with that.
I want to try and wash out some of these guys.
Yeah, go right ahead. You got time.
I like to use a little bit heavier of a wash because then on top I like to take just the dry brush of Evil Sun Scarlet.
Can I see Wraithbone?
Yes. It is a very light bone color. But it probably works if you wash it like really hard.
Well, I actually don't want to wash it. I want to use it on my already
Yeah, you could probably highlight that
dark
with it.
Brown bone color. It's not quite right at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it just got dirty or if it's just an ugly color.
Could be both. Could be neither.
It kind of looks like my Terminators to a point.
So it looks like either they hit the same punishment or you painted it the same color.
I probably did.
Well.
And if anybody is watching and is interested, I will be on Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy with Todd and Ken in a little less than an hour. And we'll be live on YouTube too. If you want to hear about some Star Wars stuff, we will be talking about, it's my show and I can't even remember what we were. Oh yeah, we're doing talking about Tales of the Underworld. So I am a huge Star Wars fan, and I don't hold a candle to Ken. He knows so much stuff about Star Wars. I have no idea where he sticks it all. In his brain. See, that's a lot better, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I can tell now there's a gap there that shouldn't be there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Tales of the Underworld. Just doing a quick review. We actually have a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next couple months. It is a monthly show. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
we're going to be talking about some Star Wars stuff, and I don't want to give too much away, but there are going to be some bounty hunters in the future. Spoiler alert. If you couldn't imagine, there's going to be bounty hunters on a bounty hunter show. And I think we're going to have some off-brand bounty hunters talk as well.
Off-brand?
Not Star Wars.
Ah.
But that'll be for a little bit later. Obviously now, I think we pretty much, anything else you wanted to talk about here?
I don't really got anything.
Yeah. Switching to Tyranids for the Combat Patrol, we talked about that. I'm going to play some Astra Militarum just because I have plenty of characters for that. That'll be a lot of fun. And I have no named characters, so that's actually the best situation for a Crusade.
I mean, for my Tyranids, I have one of no, I got two.
You have 3 named characters.
I do?
Well, actually, oh.
I have the Swarm Lord. I know
Swarm
he's
Lord.
named.
And you have the Parasite of Mortrex.
Is he named?
I think so. And I think the Broodlord. Oh, I don't know if the Broodlord is anymore.
Broodlord is.
Broodlord used to be.
Oh.
Old man syndrome. Can't remember what I'm talking about.
I think there's only 3. There's not that many.
There's Old One Eye.
There's Old One Eye. There's a Swarm Lord. I don't own Old One Eye, but I do the Swarm Lord. I know the Norn isn't.
No, the Norn isn't. I don't know who else.
I don't think the Parasite is.
He
He might be. But on my recent searches, I don't think he is. But I also might just be wrong.
It's good to know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
At least Logan will figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Tommy. Right?
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, so the ones that I know are Swarmlord and Old One Eye for sure.
Oh, yeah. They're epic characters for sure. Which I kind of don't like about the Swarm Lord, because I like that the Swarm Lord is, he has some pretty good stats with his nasty Psychic Flamer.
I'm pretty sure that's why he's an epic character.
Yeah. But I do like it.
Yeah. Have you played the Swarmlord recently?
I have not.
Well, you've been playing a lot of 1,000-point games.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of hard to fit in there.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is I'm just like, oh, Hive Tyrant. He can be my leader. It excludes the need of an epic character, it excludes that whole, oh, why is this specific epic character showing up to all of the battles,
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about Crusades, because when we started playing Warhammer, it was like, there were special characters, but they never showed up to fights. We had to do these epic, huge battles just in order to, even
get them
legitimize the use of, a named character. I mean, there were no Primarchs, obviously, but there was Ragnar Grimnar,
Yeah, like Dante.
Or, I'm sorry, Ragnar Blackmane. There was Dante. There was Azrael and, Marnius Calgar. These, those characters existed. But, you were talking Marnius Calgar was 480 points. He was expensive.
God. Yo.
Azrael was in the 200 somethings.
you barely get a demon Primarch for that
Right.
much. You barely get a knight for that much.
Well, I mean, you can get the Gilliman or the Lion are only like right around 300 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna stop for tonight.
Yeah.
He's got his stuff that he's cleaning up. I got to change over to Star Wars time, and I guess we'll see you in a little bit if you're coming over. Otherwise, hang out tight. If you do want to watch, we will be bounty hunting across the galaxy with Todd and Ken. We are on YouTube. Just search it up. I think there's only one of us, so
I hope so.
He hopes so.
Well,
He's the one that got me the shirt. Just remember. See what it
yo,
says?
I meant like I meant like if you're not going on some random live stream of a different Todd and Ken who's bounty hunting across the galaxy.
That's fair.
And you direct all your viewers to it.
Right.
That is what I mean. I hope so.
So,
'cause if there was a second one, that would be weird.
certainly would. So we're weird enough as it is. So yeah. So that's gonna be about it for tonight. We want to thank anybody that did stop in and chatted with us. Special shout out to Susan because we love her, and we will see you all next week.
See you next week.
And
I'll probably see you on Lake Clan Legends next week. Not here.
Right.
Unless there's some special episode. But I don't think so.
It's always a possibility.
There's always a possibility.
Always a possibility. So, from us at Lake Clan... oh, you got me! From us at Table Ready Painting, we're here to help you. Here to get... Oh, you really messed me up.
Yeah.
We're here to help you and your models get table ready. Thanks for watching and have a great night.